G'day guys, and welcome to this very first pickups video of 2021. I've got a nice stack of games here. I've been making the most of all the Boxing Day sales, EB Games sales, everything in the way of sales. I've been picking up some absolute gems for some great prices. So this is going to be a bit of a longer video, so do yourself a favor, get yourself a coffee, drink, whatever you want to do, and sit back and enjoy this pickups video. I know you guys love this. So with that being said, let's jump in and check out what I've picked up. This first PlayStation 4 title, I've been really intrigued by, and because I absolutely love the Hyperdimension Neptune series, which is basically like a lot of games that are based around JRPGs and also hack and slash sort of titles as well. And this one I was always like thinking I really want to pick this up, but then I was always turned off by the fact that it had online in the title, thinking that it was just purely an online game. And then I found out that no, it wasn't an online title, it was just a play on words within the game. However, you could play with 4 players online. Now, that game I'm talking about is Cyberdimension Neptunia 4 Goddess Online. So big fan of this series, and I'm so happy that I did some research on this and found out that you could play by yourself on this. So I'm really looking forward to popping this in, and I think this will probably be one of the first games we play this Sunday, guys. We're going to get back into streaming, so there's going to be Sunday streaming again with myself every Sunday morning, and that'll probably be like Saturday nights for some of you guys in the US. But I'm really looking forward to this being the first game we're going to stream live this Sunday, so check that out. So yeah, really happy to have this one in the collection. Next we have this one here. So happy to have this, and this is Streets of Rage 4. Now I know for all these years I've been thinking that Streets of Rage 4 was never going to be a thing, but finally today I have this in my hands, and this particular one came with this really cool little keyring there. Absolutely love that, and an actual instruction manual, which is really cool. Now, the one thing that did annoy me a little bit about this was I picked this up from EB Games, and it was meant to be brand new, and I found when it got here, still in very good condition, but I can see the surface has got some scratches on there. I have a look at the disc inside, and there is a lot of fingerprints. So this wasn't brand new. I did pay the brand new price for it, but thankfully it was on half price. So no, I can't complain. I'm just happy to have it now. And I just love the art style in this, and watching a few people play this, I was like, oh, I have to have this in my collection. So this will be something that I will be enjoying over the coming weeks, and if you have enjoyed this, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Now, this one I already have in my collection, but I'm really just picked it up for a trade piece, and that is Trails of Cold Steel Part 3, and I got it for $19, which is an absolute steal, especially over here in Australia. And this is basically the day one edition that has the bonus soundtrack in there. But if you haven't got a copy of this, do have a look on EB Games online. I did take a risk with this. Sometimes when you buy used games off EB Games, sometimes they will send you games without any covers. So luckily this one here came in really nice condition, and it looks like it's hardly even been touched. But yeah, to get it for $19, so happy to have this as a trade piece. After really enjoying Assassin's Creed Valhalla on PlayStation 5, I have just got back into Assassin's Creed. I played the very first Assassin's Creed, didn't get into it, tried playing it many years after with Black Flag and put it down. But thankfully, my love of Assassin's Creed has been sparked by the latest title, and it has really got me wanting to go back and play all the Assassin's Creed titles. I've got so many games to play, so many hours. It's probably going to take me a couple of years, and I kid you not, the new Assassin's Creed I've been playing for 60 hours, haven't even touched the surface of half the stuff in the game yet. But this one was one I've been really looking forward to getting. This one is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This one is set around ancient Greece. I love that sort of history of the world. It's going to be going back looking at the Greek myths and legends, and I just love just the thought of that. So I'm so excited to give this a go. My sort of massive love for Greek history has really been sparked by the movie 300 many years ago. I remember I was just a young lad at the time when that came out, and I just fell in love, and I've been just so intrigued about the history of Greece. and I am looking forward to giving this a go. I can't wait. This next one, I think I'm gonna have to wait to play this one. I know Jess wants to play it before me, and I told her she has to try and keep the spoilers away from me, but I probably will maybe play it with her or alongside her anyway, and that is Assassin's Creed Origins. Been a big fan of, again, like, you know, the Odyssey, been a big fan of Egyptian history since I was a little kid. Used to love going to the museum with my mum and having a look at the museum here in Adelaide. Is just a very tiny little room of Egyptian history within the museum, which is kind of sad, but I remember as a kid just being wowed by this one little room, and ever since then I've just been fascinated with anything in regards to Egyptian history and all the gods and that sort of thing as well. But this has me so intrigued. I haven't seen anything really more than the trailers within this game, so I'm really looking forward to giving this a go. I always love games that have arrows. I know with the latest Assassin's Creed, I hardly even use my axes and that sort of thing. I'm just out there with a bow and arrow shooting the shit out of everyone. I love getting the headshots in. But this, oh guys, I can't wait to play Assassin's Creed Origins. Next one we have here, this was one of the presents that I had got for Jess. I know it's not the best game out there, it hasn't had the best reviews, and I honestly know nothing about this particular series. Jess is a big fan of this series though, and that is Monkey King Heroes Back. I don't know anything about it. To me, it looks like it's a little bit of like a sort of adventure, sort of maybe a hack and slash sort of title. Don't know if you have played it. Let me know what your thoughts are. But I know Jess is looking forward to playing some of this once her addiction from Animal Crossing dies down, which it probably won't go for the rest of the year, I'm sure. So this will be in our backlog, I guess, and Jess will get around to playing it at some stage, but we're really happy to have this in our collection. Now, I picked this one up here, guys. Big fan of JRPGs, as you know, and this series has a little bit of history. I think it was on the 3DS. I think there was a game that came out, I think it was Conception 2, but this is Conception Plus Maidens of the 12 Stars. So this I'm really looking forward to giving a go. Again, I hear that it's probably a bit of a mediocre game, but sometimes when you pick up a game like this for $15, sometimes, just the knowing that you've picked up for that sort of price, you don't expect it to be absolutely mind-blowing. And I'm always a big fan of trying to support a lot of these smaller sort of JRPG series in the hope that, one day they might become something big and huge, like things like Final Fantasy and the Tales series and, that sort of thing. So yeah, really looking forward to giving this a go. It says on here that you can form up to 13 characters within your team, so that seems pretty big sort of roster of characters. Sometimes with games, I don't tend to like them to have too many characters, because you just don't build that sort of bond with the characters as if you have that sort of under 6 to 9 characters or less even sometimes. So it'll be interesting to see how this game plays, but maybe this will be something that we stream later on. But if you're a fan of this series or have played this, again, comments down below, guys. Please let me know. All right, before we get into this next one, guys, if you're watching this video and you're new, please do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated, and join the comments below. I love meeting new people, and if you're having a good time here, please hit that sub button. I'm trying to get that 2,000k goal out of the way, and so I can do a special video for you guys. So do me a favor, guys, hit that sub button. Alright, so the next one I have here is Date Alive. This is Rio Reincarnation. Now, I love visual novels. I think they're fantastic. I just love the fact that sometimes I can just turn the TV on, put the PlayStation on, and just sit back and just enjoy a visual novel and just in some of the stories that I've played over the years with certain games like the Steins Gate series, that's a huge one. Root Ladder, fantastic game, really cool visual novel sort of title. But I haven't really dabbled into the romantic visual novels, so big fan of my anime ladies, as you guys know. and I'm looking forward to seeing what this is all about. Now, this is done by the Idea Factory, who does a lot of the Hyperdimension Neptune series, or they kind of like localize it for us. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this is all about. But it says, one ordinary guy, 11 extraordinary women, endless possibilities. Now that sounds like every man's dream, or every woman's dream. We can't just say it's every man's dream, because ladies love ladies as well, and that's a good thing. And yeah, so I am seriously looking forward to giving this a go at some stage. I know every time I play these sort of games, Jess is always laughing. She thinks it's funny. She doesn't not pay me out or anything like that, but she just, it's like, oh, Russell, you know, playing his ladies sort of game that have been ladies games, that sort of thing. So I'm really looking forward to popping this in and giving it a go. Next up, we have this one here, Doraemon, and this is Story of Seasons. Now, I'm super happy to see that this got a sort of localization, especially an Australian release. It's rated G, and this just looks ever so cute. And basically, you're changing your, you get an abandoned farm, and you've got to turn it into like a heartwarming farm. So you've got to try and bring it up from the ground. And I always love that sort of style farm sim. It's very traditional, and it's kind of like Stardew Valley in a way. But I'm really looking forward to seeing this, how this plays out. Doraemon has got a huge history behind it, and this is my first sort of taste of it. I love everything that the Bandai Namco seems to throw out lately. So this is definitely on my bucket list to play at some stage when I've got a bit more time, probably maybe in the middle of the year I might dabble into this. But yeah, if you can find this, definitely pick it up. I think I got this for $20, which I think was quite a reasonable price. This next one has been in my PlayStation 1 collection forever and a day. And I've always wanted to finish it. I've always started to play it and never got around to finishing it. So this year, this is on my bucket list of games to complete for this year, and I'm going to do it, and that is Medieval. Now, this one here has been completely built from the ground up visually. Apparently, it's got 4K visuals, which will be absolutely amazing to see, and I can't wait to play this game in its sort of, well, its ultimate form, I should say. I'm always a big fan of these sort of retro titles being given, you know, that re-life, and just so you can experience it in that, just that more enhanced graphics and you know, the way that you kind of visioned it back in the day, if that makes sense. I might not make sense, but to me I'm making sense. But I've always wanted to play this. It's got a big history, and hopefully we'll see Medieval 2 get the same sort of treatment. So yeah, loving to be able to play this at some stage soon. Now, this one here would have to be probably one of my biggest pickups for the month, or I should say for the later part of last year and for this video, and that is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've been wanting this forever and a day, but me being me, I was not going to be paying $99 or $89 or $79 for that matter. I was waiting for it to drop under that $50 mark, and I got this for $40. Now, I know for you guys in the US, that probably sounds like a lot of money, but for here in Australia, it's actually quite a good price. So $40, I was super happy. It is super sealed. Cannot wait to unravel this over the next couple of weeks. But what can I say? I've always had this huge love for Final Fantasy. My favorite Final Fantasy of all time would have to be Final Fantasy IX. That was something that was just a special time in my life. I was a young kid at the time, and I remember they had the $2 a day at the video game shop, and I rented out Final Fantasy IX, and that story was just absolutely wonderful. Final Fantasy VIII was probably my very first, or was my very first Final Fantasy playing. Love that to bits as well. And Final Fantasy VII, I didn't play that till later on in life, and I love it for what it is, and it's a great game. But for me, it's probably like sort of my third favorite out of the PlayStation 1 titles. And someday I do want to play Final Fantasy VI. I know it's a different sort of style, but I've always been intrigued to actually pop that in and play it. But that being said, huge fan of Final Fantasy. Always excited to see what they have to bring out. And this is just, I'm just dying to play this, and this is going to be my next game to play after I finish Assassin's Creed on the PS5. So I've kept myself away from, I suppose there really isn't any spoilers as such, because I've played the PS1 game, but I've tried to keep away from looking at any videos where I can see these enhanced bosses and that sort of thing. I want to have that first initial excitement of seeing them for the first time. So don't worry guys, you can write whatever you want down below. You're not going to spoil it for me, as long as you don't send me a link to a video and I open it up and I'll be like, damn you to hell. But I'm going to love this to bits, I'm very, very sure of that. And then lastly for this video guys, we finished off with another PS5 title, and I'm very thankful that Jess got this game for me. She knows I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed now, so she picked me up this, and this was done by the team of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and this is Immortals Phoenix Rising. Now this just looks right up my alley. It looks like a mix between Zelda, a mix between Assassin's Creed, and it's got these amazing visuals. I remember I was sitting down with Jess and the actual trailer for this came out, and I was just like, oh, my jaw dropped. I was like a zombie just going, oh, around the face. But my jaw dropped, and I was just like, I have to get this game. And I was kind of hinting to Jess, like, maybe this would be a good Christmas present. And thankfully, she got it for me. So thanks, Jess, if you're watching. I know she will at some stage. Yeah. Thank you for getting me this, and I can't wait to play this. There's just so many games I would need to play. My backlog is getting out of control, and I don't know when I'm going to play this. So, I always say at some stage during my retirement, I'm going to have the most awesome retirement. People get worried about, older life and getting old and dying, but in a way, in a sick sort of way, I'm looking forward to getting old and just retiring. Hopefully I can retire early. Hopefully I don't have to retire at 65 like a lot of Australians. I want to retire early and just get up in the morning, take the dog for a walk, have a bit of a chinwag with Jess, have a bit of chat, and then just sit down for the afternoon with my packet of chips, drink, and enjoy my collection of games. But that's just my sort of vision. Anyway, I'm digressing. You know what I'm like, guys. I like to go off these little tangents and stuff, but there was my pickups of, I should say, January. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're new, hit that sub button, smash that like button. Like, we can get 20 plus likes to this video. I'm sure we can. And as always, guys, don't forget to subscribe, fools. See you later.